From every strand on the line of your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook, let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Angler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoudinger.
How y'all are? I'm John.
Hi, y'all. Arcade Rob here. John trying to throw me off my game, but hope everybody's doing well and had a great day. Got a lot of sun today, warmest day we've had in Kentucky in a long, long time. So
I was wearing shorts today.
Wow. Last I've seen legs like that, they had a message tied to them, but that's another story.
Either that or dipped in wing sauce, right?
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, that's true.
All right. Tonight we have very special guests on. So when I was looking to try to do an intro for them, I wanted to make it kind of fun. So here's what we'll do. I'll read it off to you and we'll go from there. What do you get when you mix fishing, adventure, and a whole lot of personality? You get two chicks in a boat. These ladies aren't just out here for views. They're casting lines, reeling big catches, and proving fishing isn't just a boys' club. Whether they're battling the elements, swapping fish tails, chasing trophy catches, one thing's for sure, it's never a dull moment when these two hit the water. Grab your gear, hop on board, and let's see what they're reeling in next. All right, so I'm going to bring them up and let them introduce themselves as well.
Ooh,
good evening.
Good evening, guys. Thank you so much for that very nice and kind introduction.
That was wonderful.
That was great.
Yeah, we're going to steal that for just about every intro we have.
I know.
There you go.
More than welcome to. More than welcome to.
Yeah,
so, well, I am Lori Pavasil, and I go by Chick 1.
And I'm Beth Mills, and I go by Chick 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Chick 1 drives on water, loves to drive on the water, the boat on the water, and
that is true. Chick 2 loves land and towing the boat, parking it anywhere. Well, I enjoy breaks. I like having breaks.
Hey, perfect team. Y'all got a perfect team right there.
We really do. We really do. Other than we've been doing this for so long, I need to learn how to back the boat into the water, especially now that I'm retired and can fish.
She knows how to do it. Don't let her.
Oh yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I do.
Now,
not real well.
If you're in New York, the waves can get rough enough where you do have breaks.
Oh.
not those kind of breaks.
Not those kind of breaks.
I know that from personal experience. So
we do have that thing called Lake Erie here in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was up there today, actually.
But I will tell you, Lake Champlain is gorgeous.
Yeah,
it is.
Gorgeous. We love Lake Champlain.
I tell Rob it's better than Douglas Lake as far as view and scenery.
I've never been there, so I'll have to wait till my opinion until I get up there. So I've
been to both. I've been to both, so you got to take my professional opinion.
Okay.
We've never been to Douglas.
We've never been to Douglas.
We've only been to Champlain.
It's popped up on our radar for our women's trail, but we haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice. When you come out of Dandridge City ramp, there's a Smoky Mountains right in your background.
Oh,
it's pretty nice.
That's awesome.
Yep.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind talking a little bit about your background and how the two chicks in a boat got started.
Sure. So we used to go to boat shows all the time, and we would go walk in boats and say, one day we'd love to have a boat or something like that. And then making it a quick story, we got a boat and we're like, this is the greatest thing ever. So we'd go out on weekends and what was the biggest thing that attracted you to the boat was snacks.
Oh, I do love snacks.
Snacks. She's like, I gotta have snacks.
Yeah, you can entice me with food.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
So we'd take coffee out and the newspaper or book and suntan lotion, and we'd fish with a bobber, and we're like, yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. That this is fun. This is great.
We also knew that the best spots were in the middle of the lake. So if we had a boat, we could get to those instead of just being on land.
Yeah, because we were not getting those big bass fishing from shore, in our opinion. And so the same boat shows we would go to, we had a friend of ours that he kept trying to talk us into doing tournaments. And we're like, yeah, no, we don't know anything about tournaments. We're not going to do
competitive.
We're not. Yeah. Well, we're competitive.
Well, I mean, yes.
Yeah.
But like our Sunday fishing was not.
No, it was just read that newspaper. And so we were down in the Florida Keys fishing in 2012. and we were on a charter with a guy named Mike, and we were talking about Jose Wahebe. And I absolutely I grew up watching Jose on TV. Yep. He made me feel like this little kid from Ohio could do anything. Like I could go tomorrow to the Florida Keys and I could fish because I just watched him, and he just made you feel so comfortable and so like really inspiring to want to get out there and do that. But when we got talking to Mike is like, oh my gosh, he's my neighbor. And we're like, really? I was like, God, could we meet him? And he was like, yeah. He said he's in the Everglades. He said, but he's either coming back tonight or tomorrow. And he said, if we can catch you guys before you fly out, you can meet him on Saturday. And we're like, oh my gosh, that's great. And it was about 8 o'clock. We were riding scooters and we were going to watch the moon come up. So we already saw the sunset. So we were going to go watch the moon rise. Oh, nice. And we stopped, and I happened to just flick on Facebook, and Betty Bauman posted, "Is it true about Jose?" And I was like, I have no idea, what happened. So we called Mike, and Mike was just beside himself. And he told us that unfortunately Jose was killed in his plane crash, his plane crash in the Everglades. And we sat there and just bawled our eyes out and just, it was horrible. But we said, if we ever get into, a tournament, we knew when we came back from that vacation that there was a tournament, and we were like, let's do it. Let's get in that tournament. And I know that if they're going to have something, a memorial for him or something, but, we're going to do it. And so one of my students made us a T-shirt that said Team Wahebe on it. And made us both T-shirts. And we fished our very first tournament. Had not a clue what we were doing. Mm-mm. Beth caught a fish. She caught her one lonely bass.
One fish, 12 inches.
It made it. It counted. Yep. And truthfully, literally hooked. No pun on the word there, but we were hooked ever since then. Yeah. And actually got to meet his daughter Chrissy at ICAST just a few years ago. Yeah. And we try to stay in touch with her, and she does phenomenal things with her organization for Jose. Yeah. So it's really pretty cool. Yeah. Actually, Jacob Wheeler just donated to her. They have a fundraiser and fish for, and he donated a trip up at, I think, Saginaw, Michigan. Mm-hmm. And wow. And I wanted to bid on it, but it got up to $4,800, and I was like, can't swing that.
No, I hear you. Yeah. That's cool. That's awesome of him.
That is awesome. Yeah. All right, we've got a couple of comments here, so we're going to run through them real quick for us. Awesome. Daniel says, "Hey, what's up, guys and gals? Hello from Texas."
Awesome.
Hey, Daniel. Hello. All right.
Ashley Klaus says, "Hey, guys."
Hello.
Over in Georgia. She's the gator hunter.
Okay.
Trisha Payne McGraw, you might know.
Yes. Fish her. Hey, Trisha. Fish her. Yeah.
And she says, "Glad we linked up."
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. We connected. Actually, I think Trisha's going to fish our trail this year with Angie. So we're excited. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're excited.
Awesome. Yeah.
More Ohio.
We're excited and maybe a little scared.
Oh yeah,
because we know that both of them are very good.
Good sticks.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Just tell them they can't use a shaky head.
I do.
That would take Beth out.
I know. Yep. I know. I like that one.
Yeah.
What is it with that? I've never thrown it.
Oh.
For me, starting out, I didn't have to put a bunch of items together. So like with the Texas rig, I didn't need the weight. Like everything is just built right into a shaky head. And all I got to do is just screw that little worm on and I can have a variety of whatever worms I want. But I don't know. It is the bait that I can catch the most fish on, but it also is just the easiest thing for me to fish with in any condition. So been very blessed to catch fish in that.
And what Beth mentions, like we literally, like when we went to this tournament, we had no idea that you could only use like plastic worms. Like we're like, what do you mean? And so Kai met us in a parking lot, and I was the safe and drug-free schools coordinator for my school district. So at lunchtime, I meet him at McDonald's. He works for the Columbus Police Department. He's in a blacked out SUV. he pulls out a little brown paper bag full of worms, and I give him $50 cash. I mean, total drug deal.
Yeah.
If anybody saw it, that's what it looked like. And I opened the bag and I'm like, what is this and how do you use this? Like, nothing's gonna bite this worm. And that was the beginning of it. So that's where we like to teach, and we encourage women to get into it because we didn't have a clue.
Yeah. I know
Not a clue.
that bag, you brought it and like we told me about it, and I was like, there's no way. What on God's creation would eat this thing? And
then she's like, how do you even hook it up? And I was like,
Yep.
I don't know. He did it one time, but I don't know how he did it. So then she's over here trying to back it out and figure it all out.
But at least with the shaky head, you know where to stick one part of it.
That's a really good point.
But I do have a lot of like other ladies that I fished with, and they started out on a Carolina rig, and I thought,
Oh,
how many pieces of that do I have to put together? So
And knots.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, thank you. I'll
No.
take a shake.
Yep.
Yeah.
no, I mean, I've never gotten into it.
Yeah, I
I've
can't do
never
a
used-
Carolina rig.
I can. I can't do the Ned rig or the
The shaky head.
shaky head.
Oh, I love a Ned rig.
Here's a quick
Oh,
story about a Ned rig over here, like this one. She threw the Ned rig out, and we were on Kentucky Lake, and she was like, my back kind of hurts. I think I'm going to lay down for a second. And I said, we're in a tournament. You're going to need to get up. She was like, just give me a minute. And I was thinking, oh my gosh. Well, I guess I'll grab a snack while she's laying down real quick. And so I said, Lori, I was like, oh my gosh, Lori, I think your line is moving right now. And she was like, I'll get it in a minute. And I was like, oh my gosh, would you just go get that?
Killing me. Just killing me.
So she gets up, like she pulls in a huge fish on a Ned rig, and she didn't do anything except lay down on it. And I said, that
my back hurt. And we were fishing in our guys championship. And I was like, I got to stretch my back out. And I saw my line bouncing a little bit, and I just thought, I'll give it time.
I want to talk about a bait you don't have to do anything with.
Yeah, that's the best way to fish a Ned rig. Don't do anything with it.
Yep.
Don't do it. And I did. I threw it out and pulled in 3.5 pounder. And we were like, yay!
Wow.
So I was like, I guess I have to try that too.
Yep.
I mean, I've taught a lot of kids and younger adults how to use it.
Mhm.
I just don't.
Yeah.
But
It's a great bait.
It's
It
fun.
is,
Yeah. It's
I'm
fun.
like you. That's what I started out with. I mean, 100 years ago, when I was back in Knoxville, Tennessee in the 90s, that's what I fished with, like all the time. So
Wow. And I thought the Ned rig just came out. So I had no idea it's been around for that long.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
they called it something different then. I can't remember. But
Yeah.
Okay.
You rip a Cinco in half and then fish with it. But
Oh my gosh. That's
I used
funny.
to throw it on a round ball head.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Fascinating.
I
So,
don't know. You learn something new every time.
We do.
oh yeah.
look,
Some of it
Yeah.
might even be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I had the same thing in a BFL last year. I threw my I think my shaky head out shallow. I said I'm gonna fish it more this tournament. And I was on Watts Bar, and my boater got a fish, so I'm like netting this fish. He says, "Hey, I think your line hung up." I said, "I'm like you. I'll get it in a minute." So I look, and I got the yellow braid instead of shore. It's in the middle of the cove. I was like, "Oh heck!" And I don't know how long it was on there, but it's like a 2-pounder, and it was on there forever. I mean, he swam forever, and he still had hold of it. So
I know. I love it when that happens.
I know.
yeah, I
That's
know.
all.
It's like, oh wait a minute, there's my line way out the middle of the. It didn't get there by itself. So
Yep.
it
We
happens.
did it. We had friends come up from Kentucky, and we took them to our local lake, and I did similar to the same thing. And I just actually casted behind me because they were both casting that way. And then I just saw it, and I gave it to my friend. I said, "Here, reel this in." And she's like, "How did you do that?" I was like, "The less you do with the Ned
Yep.
rig, the better
That's
it
true.
is." Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah. And then I had a BFL. My boater was drop shotting, which I like usually do. And I said, well, I'll do the Ned. And I was catching fish with him. And somehow I had an ultralight rod with like 4-pound test. I throw it out there, and it like the line gets behind the spool on my spinning reel. I'm like, So I take the spool off. And of course, you know what happens next. A smallmouth takes it and runs like 50 miles an hour that way. I'm like hand lining it in this ultralight rod. And you know what happens? Snap. And I'm like,
Oh, ouch.
Yep.
And you know
Oh,
that
well.
was a personal best. That was a PB right there.
Yeah, that. I mean, he whatever it was, it run 50 miles an hour that way. So it's definitely a smallmouth.
Oh, yeah.
And it's at the most unopportune time that happened. So,
Exactly.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
so
Yeah.
Awesome. So, what's your most memorable catch so far?
Oh, I would have to say our women's tournament at Chick when you netted the fish and I did the volleyball dive on the deck.
Oh, that was probably good.
Yeah.
I mean, along with that,
Yeah.
The last place we went to.
Okay. Okay.
Go
So
for it.
so we were at Lake Chick for our women's trail, and there's some boat traffic, so it was kind of there's a lot of waves and everything. And Beth is in the back, and she's like, "Hey, I got one," and I'm like, "Okay," and I look, and I'm like, "Oh, she does have one."
Guys,
Because sometimes
I always have one.
she does.
Always.
She always has
Always.
one.
But
Yeah.
Lori likes to second guess me for some odd reason.
she'll
I'm
learn
not
one of these
sure.
days.
I'm not
She'll learn
sure
one
if
of these
it's
days.
because I pull up nothing occasionally.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but
Anyway.
and anyways, the other thing is I had not too long ago had knee surgery, so I had a scope,
Oh.
so I was not real mobile. So
Yep.
when I looked over and I saw her rod was, I mean, it was bent. I was like, oh, she's got a good one. So I just take a couple steps off the deck, lay my rod down, and I go and it's on spot lock, and that Garmin is just holding us on spot lock. But the waves, so every now and again it would come up. So I go back like brand new net, and I pull it apart. And Beth's like, I got it. And so I pulled apart, and the net's literally in both hands, one in one hand, one in the other. And I'm like, oh no. She's like, do you got that net yet? You got that net yet? I'm coming. The net's coming. It's there. It's almost there. And she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, oh, it's there. And I'm like, get in there. So
Yep.
I get it hooked. I get the the net, get the fish, get it into the middle of the boat. Beth, we're high-fiving. Beth looks over, and in the front of the boat, she sees this big old bass just come rocketing out of the water, just flying out. She's like, man, look at that bass. I was like, man, I'll go cast at it. Well, then as the fish goes up and then starts to come down, we see my rod bouncing across the top of the deck, and it's like going into the lake.
Oh.
And I made this volleyball dive, and at the last minute stretched out and was able to catch the very end of the handle with my right hand, and I just lifted it up and set the hook. The fish was hooked, and I was able to set it. And then like I'm army crawling, Beth's like, what are you doing?
Oh my God. I've never seen her move that fast in my entire life. It was
That's
like
true.
she
not even to the
she
refrigerator.
like twirled like Wonder Woman for a minute, got into her uniform, and then dove right onto the front of that boat. And then it processed in my head, that's the same fish. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And so she gets her fish in, and we had to call because we really are conscientious of fish care. And so it was so hot. I think, didn't we do a three fish tournament? I think we did 3 fish at that tournament because it was so hot. And so she's calling, figuring out which one to call because she had just caught the 4th fish. Mm-hmm. And then I'm in there with the 5th fish. So then she's like, you need me to net it? And I'm like, yeah, you can find me some oxygen too. So we ended up, we used both of those fish and called out our 2 smaller fish. And we had, and then is that your memorable moment?
Yeah, it was funny that we're on the same tournament and the same day on this. So at the very last, we had one more spot to go before we had to go in, and it like seemed like a perfect place for me. It had like a tree hanging over,
and we never pre-fished that area.
No, and it had just like
it was like calling us.
Yeah, and one dock kind of sitting out in just one lonely dock on the corner. And so I was like, I'm going to just like try to get under this tree, Lori, up here. And so wouldn't you do it? And we have.
You were in the front of the boat too, because my knee was bothering me. I was in the back.
Yeah. And we have forward facing sonar. And sometimes I'm usually in the back. I don't use it quite as often. but Lori has taught me a lot about it. So I happened to look down and see 2 big bass sitting in there. And I said, Lori, I'm going to name them Lemon and Lime. And I'm about to go get one of them right now.
And I was like, okay.
I cast it up there. And I don't know if you were trying to cast on the other side. We saw something moving around.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I looked back at my line and I thought, oh, there it went.
On.
And so, and then and then you play the rodeo around the boat.
Oh, yeah.
And then we eventually got it in, and it was huge. We knew it was close to 5, this fish.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I think we just got big bass.
Instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you think you have a catfish on your line or what, you're like, big bass. I just catch the check right now.
Yeah.
You're not even at the
it might not even be in the boat, but you know it's a big bass and it's a drum.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. Been there.
So we were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So we go in to weigh in, and here's like the other part of the story is that we go to weigh in, and another one of our girls got a 6.6. And I was like,
wow.
You gotta be
Sandra Lugo, and she was fishing by herself that day.
That
she was
fish, her fish that was 6.6 was huge. I thought mine was big.
Yeah.
Gosh,
wow.
I was like, oh, there went my spirits.
we were winning day one with I think we had a little over 12 pounds with 3 fish, and Sandra was I think in third maybe with her big fish. So she had around 8 or 9 pounds, and then the next day, we struggled to find.
We had one.
We struggled to get that one.
Yeah.
The last 30 minutes, the wind shifted, everything shifted.
Yeah.
Everything changed. And Sandra came in with 3 fish, and she won that turn. We took second.
Smoked us.
She smoked us.
Oh, hey.
It was
and she cleared house.
She did. She had a great year.
But she's tough stick too. Yeah. But anyway, I really liked Lemon and Lime. I'm unclear of which one I pulled in the boat. It was lemon or lime, but it was pretty fun though.
And I like to know that I could dive on the deck and get back up in one piece. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
I was shocked.
I'd be calling for help.
Yeah, yep. I don't know if I'd tell my knee doctor that. So
no,
he knew I was going to be fishing. Happy. So yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't be happy. I know.
Oops.
Right,
but it turned out good.
It did. Memorable for sure.
Yeah. Let's roll through some of these comments real quick.
All right. You got Tricia laughing.
Al, the American Angler Outdoors Network. Thank you, Al. Good evening to you too. And
good evening.
I forgot to let you ladies know that we are streaming live on the American Angler Outdoors Network on Roku.
Yep.
Okay, very cool. Thanks.
Great network.
Yeah.
Jeremy May says, hello. We have 4 heads tonight. Nice.
Pretty good.
He said he had to dive for a rod after a co-angler knocked my rod in the water with a net, so I can relate.
Yeah,
I did that before, back in 2001.
Okay.
I want to say maybe 2002. It's when the Shimano Calais first came out, and they were like $349.
Yeah.
And we were fishing a night tournament, and guy says net, so I grabbed the net. Well, I didn't realize the reel handle was intertwined in the net.
Oh,
bloosh.
Yeah, and he had it on a G Loomis rod too. Which
no.
And so I called my wife. I said at the time, "Are you coming to the weigh-in?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "Bring the checkbook." I said, "I'll explain it when you get here."
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's tough.
It happens. It happens.
It does.
And nothing worse when you're trying to get the net when it's tangled in a rod or a lure.
Yeah, I think he related with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Best version is on point. Thanks for sharing. He's dying.
Yeah. See, her version is a little more animated. I like it.
And Jeremy comes back. Lemon and lime. That's my next batch of cookies.
Hey, there you go. Can't beat that. But you talk about I fished a Toyota at down there at Chick one time, and I thought I had a monster smallmouth. I was throwing a spinnerbait up shallow, and I saw a brown flash, and I told my buddy, "Oh, get the net. This is a big smallmouth, big flat-headed catfish, like 12 pounds." I'm like, And he's like, "Don't bring that catfish in the boat." So I was shaking it off in the boat. So it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. We in our guys tournament down there, Beth on a Ned rig, it took 10 minutes, 15 minutes to land this fish. And again,
Yep.
we thought for sure it was big bass. It was a drum that we have a picture of her holding it up. It's at her chest to the bottom of her feet.
Yep.
It was that big. It was huge. We did bring it in the boat just so that we could take a picture.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was nasty.
But
Slimy.
obviously, first it was big bass.
It was
Oh,
big
yeah.
bass.
Oh yeah.
Big
Such a
bass.
disappointment when you get it up. And it's like, oh man. Or you see it and you're like,
Wow.
oh, get my
All
lure.
that
Get my
work.
lure. Yeah. All that work. Don't lose my lure. Don't lose
Yeah.
my lure. Yeah.
Yep.
That's how it was.
I
It's
fished
It's
Yeah.
amazing what we do for those lures.
Yeah. TVA system is full of drum from Knoxville all up.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
full of drum.
Oh.
Bad.
Yeah. We find them.
Yeah, we do.
Oh yeah.
Yep. But Rob, you got anything you want to throw in there?
Yeah. I think when you guys first started out, didn't you like want to help get kids kind of involved? I think when you first started, if I remember right, or you had some of your students want to get more into fishing.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We actually that's kind of how we met. Is I was teaching in middle school and had a fishing club, and we had a lot of kids, and I was like, oh man, so I was like, hey, anybody want to come and help me at the fishing pond? And Beth was like, yeah. She's like, I'll help. And so we did. We had fishing club there, and then some of our kids fished with Hartley's Hogs. Charlie Hartley's.
Yeah.
He started that. Yep. And so some of the kids fish there. And then one of the things that we do every summer, it's a highlight of our summer to get to work with these kids. Go ahead, tell them about it.
It is a lunch and learn. And I literally just went blank.
It's West Jefferson.
There we go. Yeah.
Community Center.
Yeah. But we every year it just
grows.
it gets bigger. But we at first it was just presentations, but now we've actually do a little pond together. But we've also been able to bring down our boat, so we do. And obviously that's our passion of just teaching about fishing, giving back. But we're able to do a lot of boat safety, a lot of life jacket safety, and then just teaching moms, grandmas, dads, grandpas, uncles, anybody that wants to take a kid fishing. And the best part is when they bring their brand new rod and reel and they say, hey, can you put this together? Yeah. And then get it ready. And they're like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
So
it's
just the little moments.
It is. And like when we first started going, it was just held at a little rec center, and their age group is from maybe 3 years old to 14. And then we would be inside and it's a PowerPoint presentation, and we would bring stuff to show and to pass around. So that helped. But then they were able to get a grant and a connection with a business. I think it's a glue company.
I think we're behind the Crazy Glue Factory.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, hey.
And so they let us use that pond.
Awesome.
And like the one year we went down and we were talking about teaching the water columns, and I threw one on top water, and as we're talking I caught a big old bass, and like the kids were like, oh my god, and they had never touched a fish before, so they came over and they all got to touch the fish. And then the next year one of the girls there had a spinner bait on, or a buzz bait, and she caught one on top water. It was awesome. And then when we take our boat down, we let them get up in our boat and sit in our boat, and we talk the safety, and we love going there. It's a fun place for us to go.
I like to say we're spoiled in blessings, and for us to be able to pay it forward is really what we want to do.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys. That's perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to ask Rob's normal question.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Where is a lake that you've not gone to that you'd like to?
Lake on your wish list. What's on your wish list?
It can be a river.
Second.
You mentioned You mentioned Spain today. I was like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, where are
I'll
you
take
coming up
Eddie
with
Lake
this?
in Spain, please, for
Yeah.
500.
Yep.
I
That
mean,
would be
we
inexpensive.
fished Lake, we fished, yeah.
Yeah.
We fished Lake Norman last year for our women's trail, and we've thought about going to Murray, but it's a little bit far for us to get all of our anglers down there. You know, we do Erie, which we love. We love Lake St. Clair,
I know.
Lake Toho down in Florida. I
Yeah.
would probably say I'd want to do the St. John's River.
Yeah.
You know, just watching the Bassmaster, and then the MLF guys were there in the Harris Chain. I know the ladies, the LBAA is going to be on Caddo. I
Yeah.
would love to go to Caddo. But I think that's coming up in a week or so, or two.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the first week of April. I
Yeah.
would love to go, but for me to go by myself, because her spring break it's the week before, for me to drive the boat down there and stuff, it's too far of a haul. I'm like, if they had a boat, I would say, oh man, but it's just too far of a haul to drag take the boat down
Yeah.
there. But I think Caddo, I've seen pictures and it looks beautiful. And
It
then
is.
Lake Chatuque, is that right? In Georgia?
Yep.
I heard that's really pretty as well. So
Yeah. I would love to go to Okeechobee. I've never.
Okeechobee.
Yeah. I want to see. I
Yeah.
want to catch a 15-pounder.
Or Fork Lake in Texas, where they have the
Yep.
Good call.
good call. Yeah,
There
I
you
wouldn't
go.
mind making
Oh, yeah,
a road trip
definitely.
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'd like to throw a wacky around a tree timber, see if anything happens.
Yeah. Cypress tree. Yeah. There's some beautiful cypress trees.
Yeah.
There. Hanging moss. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
they have one.
But if
other
anything
thing.
else is hanging that crawls, it
Mm-mm.
slithers.
Yeah.
Slithers.
I don't want to see that.
No,
Don't
we would have
don't go to Louisiana then at all.
Yeah, we would have a bit of a panic attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Had one of those on Kentucky Lake not so long ago.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh.
We're good. Yeah, I don't like those snakes. No. I
No,
blame my dad. Yeah, I know. Nasty. So
All right. So, what's the best part about fishing as a team?
it's just fun. It honestly, it's and that's why we created the women's trail. Just because you're traveling with someone and so it's more economical because you can share where you're staying. The entry fee is an easy split down the middle. The win is an easy split down the middle. But for us, it's like, I played college basketball and I love being on a team, and I don't have, I would rather support my teammate than, like, I loved making an assist more than making a basket. And so that's the thing in team fishing that I just would much rather, and you can bounce the ideas off of each other. There's times if I'm fishing where I'm the boater, then my responsibility is get that co-angler. So in my head, it's to get the co-angler on fish. And once my co-angler gets their 3 fish, then I'm like, okay, great. Now I can focus. And a lot of the ladies in the LBA are like, Lori, you can't do that. You've got to change your thinking. Like you have to go and get yours first and then worry about them later. And I just cannot do it. So I would rather just go out and make that assist, watch her land a big one. And then maybe I'll get a little jelly. No, that's for me. That's how I am. How about you?
Yeah. Well, I think and we've been teammates for such a long time. We just read each other really well, and it just makes it comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I fished with a lot of male and female boaters and stuff, and I'm pretty laid back. I only take a certain amount of stuff and kind of just chill in my seat and don't really make a commotion or anything like that. But with Lori and I, it's just if she gets tired and needs to lay down to throw a Ned rig in to see what happens back there, I can get up to the front of the boat and do whatever I need. You just don't have to. It's like so much is unsaid, and it just makes it makes life so much easier.
And she's being really kind by saying if I get tired and need to lay down to straighten my back. What she really means is if she needs a snack. So if she can tell, she's like, hey, Lori, I think you need a snack right about now. I might get a little hangry on the water,
Yeah.
or hangry any time of
And
the day.
2 chicks in a boat are supported by Snickers.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong there.
yeah. So I
It's
do get a
Aretha
little
Franklin
hangry.
will come out of here.
Yeah, or she'll go dig in the water or dig in whatever the cooler, and she'll throw me something. She goes, "Now there, sit back there and eat that. You'll be better in about 10 minutes." So that's true. You know that's true. But
I didn't
nice.
drive the bus on that.
No, but the cool thing too about that is either one of us can run the front of the boat,
That's
and
true.
then if I have a medical emergency, she can get me back. She knows how to get the boat back to where we're going. And that's, to us, it's just a safety thing.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
again, Lori likes to be on water. So I mean, we've been in Kentucky in like 5 and 6 footers in
yeah.
Erie on some big waves that I wish that I could either bewitch myself and get out of there quickly, or
Jeannie.
Jeannie. I was really close. But I was, born in the 80s, guys. So
You were not, Rob.
I was in high school in the 80s. That's right. Tell you how old I am.
Lori does an amazing job on that water driving, and I'm so very thankful for that. I mean, I'm in an emergency, I can do it, but I just don't really want to. But Lori, I just feel extremely safe, and that's the biggest thing. We have fun and we're safe, and we try to go catch lemon and lime.
I will
Chick
though. Yeah. I will say one time at Chick in our guys tournament, we had to get across the lake, and I was like, "Are you ready to do this?" And Beth's like, "Yeah, let's go." And we were in our Ranger, and we absolutely loved our Ranger, and really felt safe in it. And we go across, and I look over her, and she's white. And then I panicked because I was like, "Oh God, she's white! Like she's that scared."
Yeah,
and then I got scared, and I was like, "But we were fine." And there were 2 locals that were sitting there, and the guy came in. He said, "Man," he said, "you didn't tear your lower unit out." He said, "You did an awesome job coming over." I was like, "Thanks." And then Beth's starting to get the color back, and then one of our in her face. And we sat there for a couple hours. We looked at the wind app, and then we're like, "Okay, it's time. We're going to try to go back." But some of our guys tried to go before us. And they swamped their boat, and they're in the middle of the water, and you just hear it go, yeah, and then it was bad, and she went white again. So yeah, but it's kind of, that's the one thing with being with a teammate, you're used to who you're fishing with. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've been on Chick and hit. Well, I think right there by the nuclear plant, we hit like a little like black wall. And I mean, it was just bad for like a half mile, and we couldn't see like the front of our boat. We was easing through and just run through it, but it was. I was like her. I was kind of white probably, and
we were coming. I think was it Sail Creek and going to something on the other side.
Yeah,
and then 2 of our buddies, they found us when we came back over to Sail Creek. They were like, "Hey, we put in somewhere else. Can you guys drive us to get our boat?" Yeah. So we did. I stayed with the one brother, and the other guy, they went together and got the truck because they didn't want to go back down. It was too dangerous. And that's the other thing too about fishing. And it doesn't matter if you're, fishing as a boater and a co-angler, is just the people want to help you out. And they really,
absolutely.
Everybody wants what's best for everyone on that water is to be safe. Yeah. That's important.
Absolutely. See that a lot. I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to call me crazy because since my boat accident, I wear a motorcycle helmet.
Oh,
And as a co-angler, you don't have to worry about that rain, those nails hitting you in the face when it's raining or whatever. Oh, it's so nice.
Hail chips and stones. I've done that.
Yeah, my boater sometimes, and they're like,
trying to hide from it.
Yeah, you got that itty bitty windshield. We have a Bass Cat now, and boy, does it ride nice.
Yeah,
it really rides nice. But we got a dual console, so she's really happy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's happy.
Yeah, you could remove it and put it back in, but we bought it mainly for Erie. But wouldn't you know it, we like it all the time. We didn't think we would. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say I.
Yeah,
I like it in there all the time, and you could hang on in the front instead of down here by the side. Yeah. So it's even more fun.
Yeah, the first year we ran it without it, and then the second year, because my knee surgery, we put it in.
Yeah.
And so that there was more to hang on to and support me, as I was rehabbing it. we never took it back out.
Yeah.
We loved it.
And everybody needs a junk drawer.
The junk drawer.
So you just open that second console and you throw your junk in it.
It's amazing what fits in that.
Yeah, it is.
And my snacks, guys. And my snacks.
There you go.
Okay?
That's
There
a
you
dry
go.
snack storage.
Yep.
Rob picks on me because I have like a whole buffet out with me.
He spreads out. He spreads out. Yeah, he spreads out a picnic thing, and the little guy in the suit comes by. You know, no commercial. Would you like some Grey Poupon? That I can picture him doing that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I would love for that guy to come by.
So I grew up watching Gilligan's Island. So I'm packing
Yeah.
for that 3-hour tour that could be really long. So
you never know.
we usually have enough food and drink on there that I swear to God could last us 2 weeks. So
It's true.
I'd rather have too much than not enough.
Exactly.
Now I've gone out before and gotten hungry, and that's all you could think about.
Yep.
While you're fishing is without and not having any food.
Oh yeah.
And I said I'm not doing that again.
Yep.
And I got back to my car,
And
and
then there
was the food. Yes.
There you go. There are times though that you go out there and you have all the food with you, but you don't eat.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've been
Yeah.
sometimes we're catching fish left and right, and we're like, we totally forgot to eat, and it's 1 o'clock, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
It's amazing like you're running from one point to the your next spot, and you're like trying to just inhale anything while you're going 50 down the lake.
Yep. Yeah, I have to give myself a timeout, make myself like sit down, actually eat and drink something. I've had to do that because I get so focused. You get so laser focused.
Oh yeah.
You forget about it, but
Yeah.
in the day you feel it. So yeah.
Oh, for sure.
True.
It comes up and bites you at the very end. Then you're like, I'm spent. I don't have anything in me.
Yeah.
I don't know how the guys do it for like 4 or 5 days in a row.
Yeah.
Tournaments that last that long. I'm like, 2 days is great for me right now.
Yeah, 2 days max for me. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'm toast.
Yeah.
After that, I'm toast.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, but like I'll bring out a couple peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, some pepperoni, some Swiss cheese, some dill pickles, and a dozen cookies.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Write this down.
I know.
and he shares with his boater. He shares cookies with his boater.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, that's
I
fun.
actually had one voter say, "Hey, let's go somewhere. I need a cookie." He had a rule that he wouldn't eat while he was fishing.
Oh, heck.
Yeah.
I know in the LBAA there was a boater that she used to bring her co-angler chicken sandwich, homemade chicken sandwich. And I was like, man, I'm a boater. I don't get to be a co-angler. And Beth unfortunately didn't get to ride with Penny. It was Penny McCurdy.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
so it's pretty
sweet.
cool.
That's a pretty good deal.
Oh yeah. I was like, that's nice. I'm not cooking for my co-angler. I'm getting you on fish. My job is to
There
get
you
you
go.
on fish. So yeah, so there you go.
Is that directed towards
I had
me?
a friend of mine up here. We actually got paired at an open together, local on Oneida Lake, the BASS Open. And he brings out like a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. He's like, if you get hungry, go ahead and have one.
Wow.
That's genius.
That's taking it to the next level.
That
like-
is. That's not a
I'm
bad
like,
idea
really?
though.
Okay.
So I said to him, I go, what pieces do you prefer?
Yeah. Well, at least you asked. I mean,
Great question.
Yeah, I do like a KFC leg drum.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
do.
I would
They're
eat that.
drumsticks. Yeah, I like those.
absolutely.
Okay, now that since we're on the food, what are your favorite snacks to take out?
Last year, the snack of the year was cheese crackers
Mhm.
with
Yep.
a beef jerky. So that way
That's
we had
fine.
protein. Yep,
Mhm.
yep. And we called it our charcuterie board. I can't say it.
Charcuterie board.
Charcuterie board. Yeah, we're like whatever.
Like
So yeah.
poor man's
And then-
charcuterie board.
The other thing we love too are the Nutella biscuits.
Yeah.
So they're little like crunchy. Yeah. The chocolate like flavor Nutella biscuits. Although I haven't had one in a while because we would go through a bag of those a day on the water.
They were so tasty.
They were good,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's probably our favorite snack. We do love to go to Dunkin' Donuts in the morning
Yeah, we do.
and get their
Yeah.
coffee.
Do you ever
before-
see your Duncan fly off the back? Like and go
No.
all over the back of your
Oh,
boat?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
sad
all,
day.
all over
Yeah.
the carpet. We're like, ouch. And of course, it's got cream and sugar in it. So.
Of course it
Yeah.
does.
And you have to smell it the whole time. And you're like craving it. And you got to smell. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and you try to pick up the cup just for that last drop.
Yeah,
And you're like,
and
it's not that good.
And you've
really.
only had the boat 1 year, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
man.
I hope that shaving cream trick on the
Works.
carpet.
Yeah, it works.
it did.
About to find out.
Yep.
Yeah, we use vinegar and water too.
We did that. Helps too.
Yeah, vinegar, water took
Yeah,
it
I've
right
heard
out.
that.
But I will say peanut butter sandwich with honey. That's I like,
you like
that.
that.
Mm-hmm. That's mine.
Pretty good.
And
On
then,
a little what do you call it? Hawaiian bun.
oh
Yep.
yeah.
I make several of those on a Hawaiian
And
bun.
when we were on Lake Erie last year for our guys tournament, there was those balls.
Oh, they're like homemade oatmeal.
Balls.
But they have like
Okay.
cranberries and stuff.
Yeah.
So you get like a little bit more protein, but those are amazing.
And they're really easy because they're just small. There's like a package full, like 8 of them,
yeah.
and they're
But
all
it-
homemade.
Yeah,
and
it made you feel
they were
full.
really good. Yeah, they kept you from having that blood sugar spike.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's the
Yep.
worst.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then I will say I do love my prickly water. No, we're not sponsored by them, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Lori really
Nice.
likes that.
Yeah, it's cactus water.
Oh,
So
see,
yeah, it's super refreshing. It's full of antioxidants and electrolytes and vitamin C.
Yeah. It really does help if you're feeling like
Shaky on the water.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
dehydrated.
dehydrated. Yeah.
Because you can only
Yeah.
drink so much water. I drink
Yeah.
water. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't like it. No.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
I like my prickly cactus water.
Check that out. That's pretty
Yeah, it's good. I do. The only one I do is mango ginger, but they have like a strawberry and then they have like a watermelon. But I'm allergic to those two,
cool.
so
Okay.
I stick with the mango ginger.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll look that up.
Yeah.
Cool. We got a quick question there from Mr. Jeremy May. He says, what is y'all's favorite style of fishing?
Oh.
It depends on the time of year. It
Oh, yeah.
just
Yep.
yeah, it really does depend. I would say probably the go-to if we need a bite for a tournament and we need that kicker fish, again, depending, the probably most confident bait would be a Texas rig because
yeah.
we have this bait that works really, really well with that Texas rig.
Cool.
But I love getting hit on a crankbait or any type
Yeah.
of moving bait,
Yeah.
buzz bait, spinner
Yeah.
bait.
I will say I love jig fishing. If I could
Oh,
just
yeah.
throw a jig in and you just feel like thump it. Oh
Mhm.
man, especially in Kentucky Lake down there. If you could get up in that buckbrush and stuff and get that jig bite. It's only happened, I think, once to me, but
Oh,
I really
wow.
like it, guys.
She-
really like
she
it.
tries.
I try real
yeah.
hard.
You know. Yeah.
And
I had
jigfish-
once. Go
The
ahead.
jigfish seem like they're always a better quality fish too. If you do get a
Yeah.
bite on
Yeah.
them.
Now hold on a second, Rob.
Yeah.
The first fish I ever caught on a jig, I was throwing a 1 ounce jig and caught a sunfish.
Well, see, I got the opposite.
Oh wow.
I got the
And
first
it
time
was,
I
in the,
threw
it
it.
was through the lip too.
Oh, hey. First fish I caught on jig on a BFL was 5'6". I got big bass on Dale Hollow back in 2017. So
Yes.
I was
Oh
hooked.
wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Same. We were in Kentucky Lake and there was one twig sticking up.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I threw it in there and I caught a 5-pounder off that jig. And our buddy Paul made that jig,
Yeah.
and I was
Polly's jig.
hooked ever since. So
Oh,
every
yeah.
time I go down there, I'd like to think I'm going to repeat it every
Yeah.
Oh,
single
absolutely. Absolutely.
time.
That's
it.
when you had what 13 pounds with 3 fish as a co-angler at the LBA.
No, it was one of our team events.
Oh, it was one of our
Wow.
team events.
Yeah.
Okay, I lied.
Oh
But she-
yeah, I had to. That was the other Paul that made the other bait.
Oh,
Other
okay.
jig. Yeah, I did have
Polly.
13 pounds as a co-angler one
Mhm.
time.
With 3
Nice.
fish.
Yeah, yeah.
She was fishing with Pam Martin Wells, and we really want to take a second, and anybody that's listening, please,
Yep.
please send some prayers out for Pam
Yes.
Martin Wells. So.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We've been praying for her ever since her diagnosis, and with her sister, who she unfortunately had passed to cancer, and so we're definitely sending prayers for
Yeah.
Pam. Great
Yeah,
lady,
Many,
absolutely.
many positive thoughts and
yeah,
prayers
incredible angler
to her and Stephen and her
Oh,
family.
yeah,
for sure.
incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
phenomenal. Only,
Oh.
I mean, not only to just watch her and read about her and hear her talk, but I had
She
the
got to vote
privilege
with her.
of fishing
Oh,
with her,
wow.
and she really is. She's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh,
I might be a lot
So-
jealous about that.
absolutely.
Yeah, because it was. I mean, to hear their day on the water that they had was just amazing.
Yeah, It's
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So definitely sending a lot of prayers for Pam
Yes.
and Stephen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great couple. Great couple.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. So, yep.
All right. All right. I do have another question for you guys. What is your favorite homemade cookie?
Ooh. Oh wow.
I love this.
I know. For me, I would say I love a magic cookie bar. At Christmas
Oh.
is the only time I get those is magic cookie bars. But I
Yep.
love a chocolate chip. A good chocolate chip, throw some pecans in it or walnuts or some type of nuts.
Yep.
But I love my chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, peanut butter
Hard to
cookie.
beat.
Yeah.
Classic. Can't beat that.
Peanut butter. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
I will say there's a lot of Girl Scout cookies downstairs right now, Thin Mints.
That time of year.
It is that time of year. Yep, and I always
Mm.
save one sleeve to get me through until February, and
Yep.
then I start snacking on them.
That's true.
I'm like that Facebook. I'm like that Facebook. I call my dealer. Hey girl, bring my cookies by.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure. That's awesome.
No. All right. So we want to give you an opportunity to just talk about your organization, talk about sponsors or people who've helped you along the way, been in and big influence in you in your endeavors. So go right ahead, take the floor.
Oh
Absolutely.
wow. Okay. I would have to say, like, when we came up with the idea of Two Chicks in a Boat as far as a women's team tournament trail, we have a local watering hole, we call it, Classic
Yep.
Sports Bar, and we sit at the corner, and that's where we brainstorm things on we got brainstormed on a napkin, on a little bar
Oh,
napkin
Yeah,
there,
that's it.
and they have supported our fishing with the guys since we started, really. So Classic Sports Bar and Classics Pizza
Mhm.
are two that they're, like I said, just a great establishment. We love everybody that's in there. And they help us out, which is fantastic. And then when it came to the trail, we got to give a shout out to Paul's Marine
Mhm.
and Bass Cat Boats. So Paul's Marine sells Bass Cats, and he was like, hey, whatever, you guys have great energy, whatever. We're like, thanks. And we knew we were looking for a new boat, and we have heard so many great things about the Bass Cat. And so we have the Cougar
203.
yeah, hybrid
Oh,
haul
cool.
on that. Yeah. And so Paul's Marine has been fantastic. They actually hooked us up with a trailer so we can put all of our stuff in it and trailer to the events, helped us get the stickers on there to support our
women's
other
trail.
sponsors. Yeah, their
Yep.
other trail. They're also phenomenal at, if we have an issue on the water, like call them up, hey, we need some help. They
Mhm.
can tell us right then and there how to fix it.
That's true.
So
Yep.
Cool.
we'll
Yep.
go with Mark.
Sure. And our other sponsors, such as Mark Wahlberg, RV and Airstream, it's
Eric.
Eric is a blessing to us down there. If you're looking to buy an RV, Airstream, or even
Rent.
yeah,
You can
or
rent
rent
it,
one,
yeah.
but it's like our adult playground
Mhm.
that we get to go in and play in all the RVs and check them out, all their
Mhm.
new products and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Sweet.
they're a wonderful company, wonderful people down there, and it's family owned. So
They're
it's
very supportive.
yeah,
And
yeah.
again, like Beth said, we go to the boat and RV show. And so of course we jump in RVs all the time. And
Oh yeah.
and then we were up in Cleveland speaking, and there was a Mark Wahlberg stand up cutout,
Yep.
So we grabbed it, and we're walking around doing a Facebook Live, and so many people are like, "Oh my God, you guys met Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
What's he like?" And we're like, "We met Flat Mark because he's
Yep.
flat."
Yep.
But I can't believe people actually thought we met him. It was pretty funny, but they have been with us since our trail started. So they've helped us out a little bit with our trail, which has been fantastic. And then
And Ducket Fishing,
Yep.
we've been very blessed for them to help our trail out and use their rods. What actually happened is both Lori and I both had tendonitis in our
Oh, yeah,
elbows,
really bad.
and we moved over to Ducket rods, and quite honestly, we've never had our tendonitis come back to us. So
Yeah.
we're just
Because they're lighter,
yeah,
more
they
sensitive.
got some great products. there.
Yeah.
But I also want to give a big shout out to Fisher. She's jumped on board for our women's trail.
She joined us last year. She helps us out a lot.
And she has
nice.
like some
The
amazing
coolest-
products that
the
we've
coolest things.
Yeah, that we've been able to share with our women's trail, like such as the weigh-in bags. She has the best sayings on those bags, some of the best colors.
Weekend hooker.
Her jerseys, they are able to get that sun off of you and keep you cool while you're fishing. And that was just, you know, like when we were at Lake Erie, it's just and she's done she's so kind. She has been able to, if you go on her website, you can order 2 Chicks in a Boat jerseys, embroidered stuff from her company, and you know, any color that you need in there. And she just we're very, again, just spoiled with blessings and a great company. And we're excited that Fisher will be on our trail with us.
Awesome.
So we appreciate her support.
Yeah. And then 2 other ones that and that's the one thing Beth and I, when we talk about, when we first got into fishing, like we noticed a lot of people had all these, you know, stickers and patches, and we're like, wow, what is all this? And somebody pulled us aside and they said, you don't want to be a pirate, a patch pirate. I think was the term they used. And we're like, okay, what's that? You know? and then, and truthfully, when we would go to boat shows, people would like, hey, will you sell our product? And we're like, we don't know what your product is, you know? And so there was only one company that they gave us their product and we used it. We really liked it. And then they ended up, the company sold because of, I think he got divorced and lost his company. So anyhow, and that was early on. That was like 2013, 2014. But we're with Mercury Marine. We're on the pro staff for Mercury Marine.
Cool.
Every single one of our boats has had a Mercury motor. And I've got to be honest with you, we've only had one time since 2006 that we had a plugged filter on one of our boats, on one of our motors. And they took care of it right away. It was covered under warranty. So we really appreciate everything with Mercury Marine. And then the one that gives us a platform for speaking.
Yeah. Also very blessed to be promotional staff for Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. And
Nice.
we can go in there and do seminars. They let me on the
Fish
tanks, which is
I'm jealous.
very fun part.
Yeah.
And we could,
I have a story for you.
okay. And we can, I think that we just worked this past weekend at our local
my God, I had a
Cabela's,
blast.
and we love being personal shoppers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could get into the nuts and bolts of someone just starting or someone just looking for the next step to get into maybe competitive bass fishing, it's a wonderful place for wonderful products, and we're just very blessed to be a part of them.
And I got to give a shout out. And Dave Fisher, he used to be the head guy down at Cincinnati, and he is no longer with us. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2020, I believe. And October of 2020. And he gave us our start down there in 2015. And it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
But we do want to say we have our 2 Chicks in a Boat women's team trail, and we have the dates for those. You can always head to our website and check all the information out. But we do have May 23rd and 24th. We'll be at Kentucky Lake.
Nice.
June 8th at Alum Creek here in Ohio, we will have an open. And
that's
anyone,
Lake and Memories family fishing fun.
Male,
Lake and Memories,
female, family.
female.
You name it, you can come. June 21st and 22nd, Dale Hollow Lake.
Never been there. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
July.
Beautiful.
That's what we've heard.
July 26th, 27th, Brookville Lake in Indiana. And August 30th and 31st at Lake Erie. And then we will have our championship October 17th, 18th at Lake Cumberland. So again,
right down the road from me.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Yeah, that's my home lake. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
can come and
absolutely.
visit us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe we'll have.
Maybe we'll get a show for that.
Yeah,
definitely.
that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
One thing too that I do want to say with our trail, the way we got into it is even if we didn't catch a fish, we got a little ticket and
Yep.
we would get a prize.
Yep.
And so we really pride ourselves on making sure that every single angler walks away with something. And like Beth mentioned, duck at, rod and reels. Last year, I think we gave away 3 rods and 6 reels or something. We got stuff from Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, so rods and reels. If we have our meeting at a store like Lake Chickamauga, they were fantastic. They're in Chattanooga. They would give us gift cards, and so the ladies, if their ticket was called, they would get a gift card. And so that is one thing that we do. Our everything that we give out is $25 and over. And we forgot about our guys that do the awards.
Oh my
we
goodness.
cannot forget them. Go for it.
Columbus Barrel Company here in Columbus, Ohio.
Mhm.
They can make anything. I just want to let you know,
Out of
but they will
barrels.
make it out of bourbon
Barrels.
Oh, nice.
And they made our awards out of bourbon barrels.
Yeah, one's supposed to go back there on that wall. It's not an award; it's a sign. But they do amazing work.
They've made hats for us.
Oh yeah, they have hats that we give away to anglers who join our trail. They get a hat, and then the end of the year awards, the team of the year, they get this. It's
points champion.
It's really cool. Yeah, the points champion. They do a great job, so we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and if anybody out there needs awards, look them up.
Definitely.
Columbus Barrel Company.
Absolutely.
They can
Awesome.
they could design anything.
Yeah. We actually have a water fountain in our backyard that they made.
Yeah.
So,
And it
wow.
actually is.
yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of on a road and it's super, super loud. So we put that fountain on, you can't hear the road.
It's just like Trisha at Fish Her. She can make any jersey, like anything you need.
Yeah.
She'll make it. So just
we're
amazing abilities that these companies have.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes, and Fisher and Trisha and Angie, we're working with them this year. You see their logo up there, up at the top.
Yeah, love it.
I got jerseys from them last year, and they exceeded my expectation.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Very good.
And the service is top notch with them as well. So
absolutely.
Awesome.
Great ladies. Great
awesome.
ladies.
Yes.
Great designs. Great ladies. Great designs.
Yeah.
They really are. Yep. And boy, you talk about the business that we needed it. There's just no female representation in the clothing there that we needed. So it was fantastic.
Yeah, they found their niche. Absolutely.
They did. Yep, they did.
And they're running away too.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
No.
So they should.
Yes. I told you I had a story about Bass Pro Shops.
Yeah.
Back in 2004, our Bass Pro Shops opened about 25, 30 minutes away from me. And they called me up. I went over, I interviewed, got a job. And so they're like, okay, the opening weekend, they're like, okay, we had like Kevin Van Dam and Jimmy Houston, like, guys like that. And they're like, okay, what are we going to do for next? I said, I'll go up there.
Why not?
And so I got a bait and I bet the hooks. I showed it to my manager and he's like, all right, looks good to me. Well, Big Bertha, we call her.
Uh-oh.
She took me for a ride.
Oh.
She ended up getting hooked.
Oh.
And I was in the middle. I was doing a seminar, and you see everything going like this. And
did you end up in the tank?
No.
Oh, okay.
I ended up slowly retrieving it in.
Okay.
Because I was afraid. I'm like, oh man, if this fish jumps and lands on the floor.
Yeah. The first year
it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you bend those hooks, if they just get pinched, man, you're like, and you could just feel it when you're up there too. You're like, I am so in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. What can you do? What can you do?
And you're like, you're just trying to look pretty at the same a wave to the customers. Yep. I'm so dead right now.
Oh no.
When
Yeah,
the first year we did that, did it. Beth went up there right after Randy Howe, and we're sitting there and we're like, oh man, wow, like we're following Randy Howe, like, and nobody knew us, but it was all about women in fishing, and it was really cool. And Randy, what a super nice guy.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah. Because she was nervous about going up there. She's like, is there enough room up there? He's like, yeah, just be careful. It could be a little slippery. She's like, okay, But he was just, him and Robin, just wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything else there, boss man?
No, we enjoyed it. And thank y'all for being in education as long as you have. I mean, you've led a bunch of young men and young women to be successful. So congrats to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you
I hope
much.
so. I am retired, and Beth is doing that now with her kids, which is fantastic. So it's been full of blessings, lots and lots of blessings.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Not a day goes by that we don't say thank you to the good Lord. Yeah. So
Yeah, same here.
For sure. And you guys, thank you so very much for having us and helping us figure out how to work these in our little thing here. So we're excited.
And you were 100% correct that you said we're going to make it comfortable, laid back. And it was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. So we appreciate it.
We appreciate that. And we'd like to have you on again sometime to talk about your trail. We didn't really go too much into that because I wanted people to get to know who you were and everything like that. So we'll set up a time where we can be on there and talk maybe towards the end of the season before your classic and talk about that and some of the anglers. And
that sounds awesome. Yep.
That's
fantastic.
It.
Yep. We would love to do that.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and take care, and God bless.
Thank you.
Same
you too, guys.
Same to you.
Take care.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right. See you.
All right.
Well, that last comment, I almost missed it. Our good friend, Mr. John Adams.
Yep. John Adams made this hat right here.
Top notch.
And got the style that we're going to be carrying and selling.
I like it, man. That pops.
It's the Richardson 110.
And Rick can't beat the quality of a Richardson. Yeah. Richardson's top notch.
Yes. So thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, just enjoyed having the ladies on, and we appreciate them, and hopefully I can go down and catch them at Cumberland. I look forward to that in October. So I've heard a lot about them, and they're widely known. I'll put it that way. I've followed them for a long time now.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, folks. Well, everybody take care. Have a great night. Be safe. And what's Ozzy say?
We love you all. Peace out.